Savings is the real key to your new home. Today I'm going to talk about savings goals and share a few tips on how to save when it comes to buying a home. Knowing what you're saving for will help motivate and encourage you to work on what's important for buying a new home. If you haven't made a monthly budget using our free online budget worksheet, check out our video on how to make a budget first. There are at least 5 things to save for when preparing to buy a home. First, start to work on an emergency fund. A good rule of thumb is to build at least 3 months of take-home pay in your savings account. I know an emergency fund doesn't sound like an exciting thing to save for, but having this cash on hand means you will be able to make mortgage payments on time no matter what comes your way. If you have debt, you'll want to start paying it down before saving for your home. This will improve your credit score and debt-to-income ratio, which helps you qualify for a better loan interest rate. Paying down your debt before getting pre-qualified with your lender will save you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Once you have an emergency fund and with your debt in control, you're ready to start saving for home purchasing expenses such as down payment, home inspection, appraisal fees, and closing costs. Let's talk for a second about down payments. A down payment is a portion of the purchase price that you pay for the home. The rest of the payment will come from your loan. In general, the more money you can put down, the less you will need to borrow from a lender and the less your loan is likely to cost over time. In most cases, you need a down payment of at least 3% of your target home price. Many loan types and lenders require 5% down or more. You can often save money if you put down at least 10% of the home price. And you'll save the most if you put down at least 20% because at 20%, you will avoid the extra expense of private mortgage insurance, PMI. Avoiding PMI will mean hundreds, if not thousands, back in your pocket over the life of the loan. When lenders decide the interest rate and loan costs to offer you, they typically look at your down payment in increments of 5%. There are usually no savings for putting down almost the required amount. For example, if you have saved for a down payment of 8% of your target home price, think about whether you could save up a little more before buying, or choose a slightly cheaper home so you can hit the 10% mark. Don't get discouraged. If it seems difficult to save large sums of your down payment, Philadelphia has many grants and loans to help cover some, if not all, of your down payment. To find out about these opportunities, give us a call at Congreso and talk to one of our housing counselors. It's important to attend a housing workshop before going to a lender in order to gain access to these grant and loan opportunities. Even if you have help with grants, you should try to save at least $3,000 towards a down payment before looking at homes so that the lenders know you're serious. Some other costs you might not think about but will need to save for are application fees, lender fees, home inspection fees, property taxes, private mortgage and title insurance, your earnest money or good faith money, and closing costs too. This may seem like a lot to save for, but all of these additional costs, not including your down payment, typically add up to only 3 to 5% of the total cost of your home. New homeowners often find things that need fixing or discover that they need an additional piece of furniture to make the new home work for their family. Moving expenses and utility setup fees can also add up. When thinking about how much you can afford for a down payment, make sure to set aside some money to cover these expenses too. So remember, when buying a home, you're saving for an emergency fund, paying down debt, your down payment, closing costs, and moving expenses. Creating a savings action plan for all of these costs is what our housing counselors are here for. You might think you can't afford to cut anything from your budget to save, but if you look closer, you'll probably find you have spending leaks. Spending leaks are things that zap money from your budget without you really noticing. If you track your spending, you might be surprised that you could have saved anywhere from $50 to $200 each month if you don't buy things on impulse. Do the math. That's $2,400 every year on things you might not pay attention to. That's only $600 away from a down payment for your house. Find the spending habit that you are willing to cut out and start to think of savings as your new habit. There will always be good reasons to save when buying a home. Make savings a part of your routine. Here are a few savings tips to try out at home. As soon as your paycheck comes in, take 10% or as much as your budget says you can save each month and move that money into a savings account before you pay any of your other bills. Regular, consistent savings contributions help make savings a habit. Another tip is learning to save throughout the day. Try making little promises to yourself like, if I didn't spend money on this coffee, I could use that money to save for my loan application fee. If you use online banking, try transferring the money from your checkings to your savings the moment you decide not to buy that coffee. You'll be surprised at how quickly your savings will add up if you try this. It may be easy to fall back on old habits and not save as much as you would like. One way to stay on top of your plan is to track your spending every day. Record your daily spending with anything that's handy, a pen and a paper, an app, your smartphone, or our free online budget worksheet. Keep copies of all your receipts for your reference. Without tracking your spending each month, you'll have no way of knowing if you're reaching your goals. Try it diligently for 1 month and see how you do. After that month, you'll know how you're doing with cutting out those spending leaks and sticking to your plan. Your ultimate goal is owning your home. Let that motivate you to stick with your new savings plan. A house is a home for the whole family, so everyone should be on board with your budget. Even your kids can help out and keep each other accountable. If you'd like to work with a housing counselor to create your own savings plan, call Congreso to sign up for our home finance workshop.